Welcome to Quiltologie, brought to you by Fabric Editions. My name is Kristen, and along with the help of Fabric Editions, we've put together some short videos on quilting concepts that will help jumpstart your quilting. Today's lesson is on flying geese. If you're new to quilting, you may wonder what migrating birds have to do with quilting. Well, flying geese are a traditional piecing unit that look like geese flying in formation when you sew them together. This unit is found in a number of traditional blocks. When sewing the three separate triangles together, it can be difficult to finish them straight and on grain because of the stretchiness. In this lesson, I will share a quick piecing technique that some like to call Flippy Corners. This method virtually eliminates all the bias stretch, and it will help you finish your unit square. And it's also used in this purse. You can see we have 2 rows of the flying geese units. The flying geese here is done in green, and in this one it's done in purple, and it creates this trendy zigzag pattern. In this lesson, we will share a quick piecing technique some call the Flippy Corners, because of the corners you achieve with this method. This method virtually eliminates the bias stretch and uneven edges when making these units. Let's begin by making a 2.5 inch by 4.5 inch flying geese unit. This simple method of placing marked squares on each end of the rectangle and sewing along the diagonal lines will help you create them perfectly. To begin, you just take your square and you line up from corner to corner and you mark so you have a sew line. And you do that on both of your squares. Next, you will place one square on your rectangle, and there's 2 ways you can do it. You want to make sure that you place your line so the arrow is pointing away from you, so when you flip the corner back, you will have it at the start of the 1/2 of the arrow. Next, you will take this to your machine and sew directly on the marked line. Remember to hold your threads back so they don't knot up. There's no need to backstitch because your threads will be caught with the next piece that goes in. Once you've got that square together, with your ruler, you line up 1/4 inch on your marked line and your stitch line and trim 1/4 inch off. You will take that to your iron and press it back to form 1/2 of your flying geese, which you'll end up with this. Next, you'll place your second square on your rectangle, and remember, when you flip it back, you want that arrow to form away from you. So it's always better to check before you sew. Take it to your machine, holding your threads. Sew directly on the marked line. And you'll sew from corner to corner. And you'll repeat the process. Take your ruler, line it up on your new stitch line as well as your marked line, 1/4 inch. Trim off the excess. Flip your corner back, and you'll see the arrow pointing away from you. Take it to your iron, and with a hot, dry iron, you will have your first flying geese unit. As you can see, this method helps you create nice straight units with very little stretching. Many creative things can be done with these flying geese blocks. Have fun experimenting with your own ideas.